If you haven't watched part 1, go watch part 1, because this one might not make sense completely. But anyway, my level is not dropping, and they're getting a little bit concerned about me. And most of the time when you hear from Fertility Plus, you always hear the nurses, they tell you your level and all the rest of it. Well, the one day I get a call, I think it was on the 5th of May, I got a call from Fertility Plus, and this time it was a doctor. And immediately I just thought, okay, something is not right. Usually it's a nurse calling, now it's a doctor calling, so what is going on? And he just said, I was at work. He says, your level's not dropping, we're really concerned, you need to go to the hospital right now. Like, right now. So I had to tell work. Now I am like sobbing because I'm thinking, what's wrong? What's going on? What's going to happen? You know, I've never been through this. I've never had a miscarriage. I've never experienced any of this stuff before. And now all of a sudden, I have to go to the hospital, and I have to go right now because they're expecting me. So I arrive there and have to have another blood test after I just had one that morning, and see the doctor. She gives me an internal exam, which is just such fun, and has a look at my blood tests. And so they want me to go for an ultrasound. Their ultrasound machine is so busy they can't even book me in. So now I have to wait 2 days before I can go for an ultrasound. Like, the whole time I'm just worrying about what's happening. You try and remain calm, but it's not always that easy when it's your body and they're telling you to rush here and rush there. So I had to have an ultrasound scan on the Thursday, which was the 7th of May, which it just totally sucked. It sucked so bad because I'm sitting in the waiting room and there are all these pregnant ladies everywhere. It was like pregnant day at the ultrasound clinic, which makes you feel so crap as it is, because I've just had this miscarriage. I don't know if I've got this ectopic pregnancy, and look at all these pregnant women all around me. And I never want to begrudge anyone of their pregnancy, because I would hate for people to go through this journey that so many of us have to go through. I guess it was just hard because at that time things were just so raw. Had the ultrasound, which was super, super fun. Having to look for my ovaries and all sorts of things just was great, and she couldn't see anything on the ultrasound scan, which I kind of was like, how is she gonna see anything? My level was like 20. It was minuscule. I didn't really think she was gonna find anything anyway. It would have been shocking to me if she found anything. She did see a little bit of fluid buildup, which I was still bleeding at this point. Not a lot, it was just kind of very light, but, you know, I had to wear a pad. And yeah, so then back to the hospital that same day for them to kind of go over the results. So they posed two procedures that they might do. So one of them was a laparoscopy, which is when they go in with the camera, they have a look around, if they find anything, they remove it, and then we're going to do a D&C at the same time. The second option was this medication, and I will put it, if I can remember what it's called, zoridum or something, I don't know. It's this drug you take that basically strips everything, strips your lining, just strips your uterus and all the rest of it, to give you a good clean out. And this is something I guess the doctor was recommending because it's not as invasive as surgery. But then I would have to wait at least 3 months before I could do my next embryo transfer. And I'm not so good with drugs. I'll explain why we picked the surgery over this drug. Is that I'm not so good with medication as it is. I react very badly to certain things sometimes and can get really sick. Secondly, I don't like the idea of something that can cause that much effect on your body that it can strip your lining and not, they don't want you to get pregnant for 3 months after that because you could have a miscarriage. I just don't like the sound of a drug that can do that to your body. Anyway, that's a subject for another video. All I'm saying is I'm not so keen on the drugs. So we had said to her that we would like to go ahead with the surgery. So this doctor then went away, talked to her supervisor, came back and said, you have to wait a week. And she was so gutted for us because it was just like all this waiting. This whole thing is just taking for freaking ever to get itself going. And now we have to wait a week. I kind of like, at that point, I was just like, whatever. I don't care. I'm just so used to waiting for everything to happen. It wasn't like this colossal big deal to me. So on the 14th of May, I go in for yet another blood test and go to see another doctor now at the hospital, because this is all government funded, all these hospital visits. And I went with my mum, which was really good to have her there, just to support me. And the doctor looks at my charts. She gives me yet another internal scan, internal exam. Yep. And she says, okay, we're going to do the operation and we're admitting you right now. At this point, I was feeling really good. Like, I hadn't been bleeding. I was feeling much more myself. And so I was kind of expecting her to say the level dropped. But she was saying, no, we're admitting you into the hospital right now. So